Oh, okay, I want to say hello again everybody, it's me, Wushu Richard. Please excuse me for not wearing a top, okay, it's not half a strip show. It's just because it's just so damn hot here in South China, I must say, okay. Okay, now in this video, it's a special video, okay, because I want to talk to you about my cartoons, okay, that I make, something different, okay. You may or may not know, okay, that I also make cartoons, my own little cartoons. I'm not the best artist, I'm not the best animator, I don't have the best animation software. But I've always loved art, and I've always loved drawing, and I've loved things like not only comic books, but I love like the manga, anime, like Japanese cartoons, you know, and also like cartoons in general. Massive fan of South Park and The Simpsons, and I've got all the most respect, you know, for Disney. I think they're great in what they do, but it's like, you know, I love the Japanese cartoons and the comic book style and manga and all that, but it's like, you know, my life, the most important thing to me in my life is martial arts, as you know, right? It's helped me to realise the beauty in life in all kinds of aspects. I've already spoken in another video, I think, about that, in terms of how I can like relate to different people, different outlooks on life, and all kinds of things. It's like if I watch a film, I love martial art films, as you know, but it's like it helps me to, martial arts has helped me to be able to see different areas of life and value and, you know, appreciate, I should say, different areas of life. So if I see a good film, no matter what genre it is, or if it's a good story and it's got a good message in it, as in like protect and value life, with a smile on your face, you know, seriously enjoy your life because we've got this one chance to live. That is the most important thing to me. So, as I say, I make my own cartoons. Now, in this video, it's going to be like a little introduction to my cartoons, okay? I'm not going to show you anything in this video because I have my own channel for my cartoons, okay? This channel is my main channel, as you know, which is Richard Clark Ninja. It's like my new channel, you know, for like Wushu Richard, me. On this channel here is like for martial arts, right? It's serious. I'm talking about martial arts, about my philosophies on life and all that, right? And it's communication with people, and it's about self-help. Sometimes I might make a short little movie or two and put on here and different bits and pieces. But my cartoons, I've taken it more serious now than I used to. It's like I want to do them good, and they're kind of rough. Like when you see my stuff, it's kind of rough, to say the least. But it's like I'm working hard to do good stuff. I want to get better at what I do using the softwares I got. You know, I got a pad and a pen for the computer so I can draw and I can see what I'm doing on the computer. I'm learning more about art and practicing. I'm inspired by so many different kinds, like real artists out there, you know, like comic book artists and manga and things like that. So it's like I've always loved drawing ever since I was a kid. When I was a young boy, there was paper all around our house, you know, any pens or rough paper and pads and things like this. When it was my birthday, even my mum used to get me those packs, you know, with the felt tip pens and colours and things. I was just always drawing, you know, and I love cartoons and that. But I've always been an imaginative person. I had the imagination. I always valued like films and stuff. I've always wanted to be like a director or like a fight choreographer or someone for like films, to like make the films and tell the story, not necessarily like be famous and being on this and that on TV, but it's like to tell my own stories, you know. I respect people like Jackie Chan and then Van Damme and people like that. They're martial artists, they do their own fight scenes, they do their own fight action choreography, and they also are doing it from their perspective. They're telling their own stories most of the time. They're not like just working for others, let's say, all the time, you know what I mean? And that's what I want to do. I respect writers, people like Stephen King and people like that, you know, and the horror people, you know what I mean? John Carpenter, people like that, who've told these stories and created them up by themselves. You've got to respect people like that. I used to love playing computer games. Two of my favourite ever computer games were video games, were Shenmue, or Shenmue, however you pronounce it, 1 and 2. They've got a new one coming out. I can't believe it after all these years. I was so happy when I heard that. It just blew me away. And it also, Zelda, I completed the Zelda, the Ocarina of Time, if you ever played it. Awesome. I mean, I used to play that all the time. And also Mario and Mario Kart 64 it was. But it was like, you know, Nintendo 64, Ocarina of Time, Zelda, if you know what it is, you know what I'm talking about. But you can't beat Shenmue in my opinion, right? Shenmue was a fantastic game. Shenmue. It was like set in Japan, set in the 80s, and then he goes to Hong Kong and that. And then the second one, and it was like a revenge thing. Where it was like all about the martial morality. It was about martial arts. It was like you could relate to it. Anyone who loves like the Karate Kid films, like I do, the old originals, you know, and then like things like Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Rocky, all that, you can relate to this kind of thing. You know, David Carradine's Kung Fu and Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. So it's like all this kind of stuff inspires me. I've always loved like the 80s music, the 80s TV shows, 80s movies, anything that's storytelling, anything beautiful like that. So I've not been much of a reader as such in the past, but I do like reading a bit of fiction, you know. I did used to get comics and stuff occasionally, but I love computer games. My favourite games I used to always play were like the Street Fighters. Any new Street Fighter game out, I would just buy it if I could, you know. Later on when I like got a job, when I was like in my teens and I got a little job and I was like saving up money, every time I got some spare money I'd go and buy a game. Even if it was like second hand or something, I would still go and get a Street Fighter. Yeah man, Street Fighter Alpha 2, whatever it was. Oh yeah, the super combos. I was just so good with Ken Masters was my main character. Of course Ryu is like the best, like, you know. But you know, so I was into that. I weren't so much into Tekken. I do like Mortal Kombat. Weren't much into you know, Virtua Fighter. But you got like different kinds of games. I love my fighting games, like martial arts, fantasy. I got another game which was called Twilight Princess. That's the latest like Zelda one that I got, and that was just really good. Didn't complete it. I got lost in the game. But you know, it was good though. It was really good. And it's like, anyway. So what I'm saying is I admire imaginativity, imagination, good creativity. People that can envision these things. I mean, if you look at today's new, like, modern video games and the quality of them, it's just absolutely unbelievable. It's just absolutely incredible, the stuff they're coming out. It just blows me away. Like, I'm telling you, the last console I had was the latest was the GameCube, Nintendo GameCube. But really, I had a Sega Dreamcast, a Nintendo 64, GameCube, PlayStation 2, and that was it. After that, it was like you can find like things online and that computer, like PC versions and things like that, you know. But it's like of games, you know. But it's like the actual, like, you know what I mean, like with like the later like new consoles. You got like, there's like popular games now like Destiny and things like this, and then even Call of Duty and all this, like these very realistic looking games, and the things they're coming out with to this day, you know, it's unbelievable. It's coming true, like we used to say, like back in the day, you know, games are getting to look more real, like films, you know, more like reality almost. So games are great and I love them too. So I'm just saying, I respect people that create all these kind of worlds and stories and things like this that you can create. So I use, how can I say, primitive ways. I mean, it's like, I don't know, like the old classic anime, manga and anime, like cartoons, the ones I love. And it's not Dragon Ball Z before anybody says, or Pokemon. But what I loved, okay, was Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. There was a TV series one as well, I also liked kind of. Street Fighter 2, I loved the Street Fighter manga, like, TV show, and the movies and that, you know. I love all that. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, awesome. Epic. With the music in it too and that. The TV series of Fist of the North Star, and anything about Fist of the North Star with Kenshiro, the man with the 7 scars, you know, Hokuto Shinken, and fucking, excuse my language, awesome. That inspired me a lot. That was just awesome, okay, in terms of my animations and stuff. You know, it was really good stuff. But like the old cartoons, you got to remember, they was doing hand drawn. It was all by hand most of the time. It was like very rigorous. But they didn't have the technology what we got now. So it's like I'm sitting here telling you that the software I've got on my computer and the things I've got are like not the best, but it's much better than what they were using back then, I'm sure, and very much more convenient. If they would have had this kind of stuff, they would have loved it. So Fist of the North Star was great. I love anything in that series, okay? And these are the kind of things that inspire me. So, as I say, you know, I've seen Akira, I've seen Ghost in the Shell, Ninja Scroll, yeah, you've got another one called Afro Samurai. There's a new one, I think 1 or 2 of those. It's a new kind of show called, like, what's it called? Attack on Titan. I was looking at a bit of that the other day, it was interesting. But I'm just saying, there's so much amazing stuff out there, art-wise. You know, the visuals, the people that created the Matrix and things like that. I mean, I've always been, that would have been my dream, to be like, to make my own films or be like a fight choreographer. Like back in the day, I really wanted to get into martial arts like that. And it's always been my dream, you know, for that, to get into films or TV, you know, be able to, in some way, be able to tell my own stories. Now, films are one thing, but then cartoons are another world, but it's still another different way. Now, I've always loved drawing. I started practicing, working on my digital art and doing drawing on the computer. Then I got different softwares, and now I'm actually being able to work and do basic, actually I can do very good basic animation if I want to. Now please hold on 1 second, okay, while I go and check something out. I'm back, don't worry guys, sorry about that. You looking at these sons of bitches kissing on the wall? My wife put that on the wall. How funny. Yeah, I'm just closing the door. We've got there's a few noises out there, people working and stuff, and I've got this air conditioning. But anyway, distractions. I want to just say to you, basically though, so I'm really inspired by creativity, not destruction. I would rather focus on creating things, just the same way like Jackie Chan makes epic movies and stuff, you know. Rather than risking myself, putting myself in danger, or getting myself in fights in this day and age, or on the street, or proving it, or trying to prove a point, or arguing with someone even, or trying to get in a sports contest, martial arts ring, and well, I wouldn't want to do that. I just keep myself in good health, do my workouts every day, train the martial arts. I love teaching, I must say, so sharing with people, training martial arts together, and things like that. And if my dream can't come true, if I'm not, you know, if I was never able to, let's say, get into like TV or film or, you know, in some way with the martial arts, then that's sad, you know, or choreography is a sad thing, unless you were able to like get together with like-minded people and like do something like that. Fair enough, but what I can do is I can work on making these worlds by myself and characters and worlds and doing cartoons, comics, cartoons, artwork, animation and writing stories. I've done a lot of writing in my free time in my past, you know, I've done a bit. Writing up full scripts, and now when I do my cartoons I write my own little scripts out for the stories too and plan it all. I do everything myself. I make my own music, and I'm not saying I'm so fucking amazing and talented, but I do. I've got on the computer, like digitally, I can't play any musical instruments, but I make my own music. I practice that, you know, for different atmospheres and different kinds of beats and different tunes, and for the different atmospheres, for the different scenes that fit for the story. Straight from my head. I make my own music. You know, I'm inspired by all kinds of, as I say, films and games and things. So I've got a lot of like inspiration, and I've practiced, as I say, making my own little movies and stuff with little short videos that you might have seen in the past with me. Crazy like stuff, just me with a camera, a martial artist and that. But I'm learning about how to put the camera in certain positions. It's really hard when you're doing everything by yourself. Not because it's hard. I mean, when it comes from you, it's personal. It's like Mr. Miyagi said to Daniel LaRusso, when it comes from inside you, the picture's always going to be the right one, you know, the bonsai tree that he was talking about. So when it comes from you, you've got the vision is perfect. You can see what it is and you know what you want. But what I'm saying is like when you haven't got a crew, when you haven't got like a group of people to work with or make fight scenes, obviously just you yourself, or holding the camera yourself or putting it somewhere rather than having someone be able to help you move, then it's all done by yourself. So I do everything by myself, all the editing, everything, okay? The sound effects, editing that in, the music, you know, the dubbing. When I'm doing my cartoons, all the dubbing, the voices, and practicing things like accents and different voices and understanding people from different backgrounds and the way they would speak and the way that they would think, and trying to study people in the real world so that you learn to be very open-minded and very patient, and you can see things more clearly and you can laugh at things off and take things lightly and create these stories. So that's why I respect people like who like make South Park and things like that, or The Simpsons, or the Disney shows. I think they're amazing because they can see the beauty in life. They can see all this world can be a dark place. The violence in this world, absolute mess. This world, when you look at it, and the wars going on, and the crime, and all this, but they can see the beauty. They can paint this beautiful picture. It's real artwork. When you see that Disney, what they do, my God, right? And the characters and the things like in South Park and that, you know, some people just look at it as foul mouth, this or that. But you look at it carefully. These people are not just taking the piss out of people and that's it. It's not like you just make a load of swear words like me saying fuck shit and that. It's not like that at all, that you just use a load of bad language and put on a show and take the mick out of people. That's not what life's about. It's saying that we all can take a look and laugh at ourselves. Nobody's perfect, even me, but nobody. So we should be more creative in our lives and do more, you know, and make more and look at both sides, the good and the bad, and try and do better and try and improve it. Take things lightly and just try to improve life for the better, the world, you know. So anyway, I make my own little cartoons, as I was saying, right? Now I'm doing them, and it started off as a hobby thing. I was playing around with a few different things, usually martial arts based, you know. A lot of the stuff's rough. I'm trying to get better as I go along, practicing with different artwork and different animations. It's very hard. You can do like frame animation, like drawing frame by frame every picture, and that's very hard. It takes time, you know, and effort. And then also you can do things like other little different effects where you're like moving pieces around and stuff. It's like, it looks kind of like flat paper pieces, but it's like motion comics, if you've ever seen them, you know, things like that. But it's like I'm learning about it. I'm using the different softwares. I practice a bit of 3D and but I like 2D mainly, as I say. But it's like I've created these characters and I've created these worlds by myself. And there's like different cartoons that I've created that have been inspired by real cartoons that are out there. And now it's like I've just kept some of those series going. Recently I've been like creating new characters and trying to make new shows. But basically I've put all of my cartoons up on this animation channel that I've got. Another YouTube channel I have, all for my cartoons. I would like to try and share more of that on you know, things like Facebook and other things. I have put some on VK too, but Facebook, things like I've got deviantart.com now too, which is another thing. I've done a couple of comics little comics I made by myself too earlier on in the year. Excuse me, but the cartoons I'm loving doing. So I'll just introduce you now. Just tell you briefly in this video. I'll maybe do 1 or 2 more videos talking about the cartoons a bit more maybe. But the best thing for you to do, I don't want to bore you and ramble, I mean the best thing to really do is just go and subscribe, or go and have a look first before you decide to subscribe or not. Go to the channel. The name of the channel is Animation Arena. That's very easy to remember, right? Animation Arena. But you know, I don't have an actual proper custom linked URL to the thing. But you know, I'll leave the link. I'll try and leave the link below this video, okay, so you can find it. It's Animation Arena, and you just go and look for Animation Arena, or type it up, and maybe you can find the name of that channel on there. Okay, Animation Arena. I'll give it a try now while I'm on YouTube. Hold on 1 second. Animation, to see if it works. Space Arena, not spaceman. I mean Animation Arena. 2 words, and it's not coming up. So I'm going to go to channel. Go to channel. Look for under channel, and yeah, it's here. Okay, Animation Arena, and so far I have 42 videos up. Okay, but it's the one you can see all kind of this arena animation, but you need to go to the channel which says Animation Arena. It may be good if I put my photo on. I don't know, but you go there, Animation Arena, and it's the channel. Okay, I'll show you just quickly if you like on the channel. Okay, I'll just show you briefly while the camera's here. Why not? Okay, and this is my channel, Animation Arena. Okay, and you can see all of my cartoons here. Okay, this is the Animation Arena. Have a look here. Okay, Animation Arena, and this is the thing here. You can see the mountains, and that's, you know, it's the right one. As you see, the link up here is not the exact name of it, but you go to Animation Arena. I'll go back again, okay? Go back. You see, I just typed in Animation Arena with a space between the 2 words, Animation Arena, in the search box on YouTube. Sorry for the quality on this video, by the way. And you go to filters, okay, and go to channel, go into filters and then channel, and do a search that way. Otherwise it will come up with videos too. Just go for channel on the filters, okay, and on the search, and then Animation Arena, and find it. And I'll leave a link, as I say, underneath this video as well, so you can get to that straight away directly. But what happens is it comes up, and then what happens is you end up with all these, but you go down, you can see my one doesn't have a picture here, but it's Animation Arena, not Arena Animation, that's not mine. This one here, Animation Arena. There's 42 videos. You go in there, and then you'll see the mountains and the mist, and you see all my cartoons here, okay? So you go to the videos section. It's the best way to do it always on any channel, I feel. You go there and you see all my cartoons. See, I have a lot of different cartoons I've made. I don't know if any of those pictures, what they look like to you, then you might think they're crap, I don't know. As you can see, there's a lot of characters. Maybe some look familiar or very similar to some other characters you may have seen online in different, or in real cartoons. Go down to load more. We have some more, of course. Loads of cartoons there. And I do these all by myself. I'm not the best. I'm not boasting. I do these all by myself. Look at these shit art pictures, you might think, but really, I make all these characters. As I say, there's all kinds of shows I make by myself. These cartoons, okay. I practice very hard on my artwork. I'm trying to get better. I'm not the best, you know, but I do the animation by myself. And as you can see, I mean, look at some of those pictures there. I mean, this is martial arts based stuff, you know. So if you like animation and you like a bit of fun, you know, cartoons, I hope you'd enjoy them, okay, if you can get a chance to see them. Now, subscribe. I'm always making new cartoons too. This is what I do in my free time when I'm not working, okay, when I'm like in my days off and stuff, you know. I do like my, you know, as I've said, I do my martial arts and my training, my physical martial arts training, but to relax and do other things, because you have to, and that's what the martial arts teaches us too, I do other things like this. I do my own cartoons, okay, so I'm very sorry, I'm trying to fix this camera up here, that's okay, yeah, a bit better. So yeah, that's just a quick introduction to it. It's Animation Arena, okay, it's me, Wushu Richard, you know, Richard Clark, but the channel is Animation Arena. Okay, and I do these cartoons. I have certain characters, like me and my friend Demsley, okay, hi bro, Dems. Me and my friend Demsley invented a word, okay, a funny word. It's not a real word in terms of the way we use it, but this word is Azzy, okay, Azzy or azimuth. It's not a real word. It's a real word, but we made this up, not knowing, but it's like Azzy, right? A-Z-I for short. So, and what that stands for is it stands for anyone in this world who is negative, you know, a nasty person, full of ego and all this, you know, and going around like they know everybody, they know better than everybody and all this. If someone is an Azzy, or they have Azzy, it's like a disorder. It's like they've got something wrong with their head, you know, they're this ego, damn dumbass, basically, right? So Azzy is a problem, right? It's a kind of condition. It's like, what are we going to do with this? How do you deal with an Azzy? How do you, azimuth, basically. It's called azimuth, or we call it Azzy for short. Anyway, you know, I came up with my first main cartoon that I came up with was a superhero, a character who goes around beating the shit out of azimuth, or Azzy people, you know, trying to just put them straight, because they're going around, you know, any nasty people who, you know, going around big-headed, thinking that they're better than everybody else. So he goes around and deals with Azzy. He's a superhero who fights these nasty people. And basically, this character, his name is Azzy Banger. Azzy Banger. So he bangs them out, you know. And he looks like Batman, very, very much. He looks like Batman, but it's not Batman, okay? So he was my main character. It's a comedy like cartoon I do, this series, okay? And it's been like popular with like some of my close friends, I say more so. But it's like South Park type stuff. There's a lot of swearing, you know. It's like very funny, but it's like, you know, simple and comedy like aimed, right? That's that. Then the second cartoon I made, okay, series. You have to understand these are all series, so there's many episodes within each series. The second series I made was a martial arts based one, and I wanted to like make the artwork better. I was very, very inspired by Fist of the North Star. And I thought, you know what, I would love to be able to create something by myself. Now, obviously, I can't do that best art like those real manga, anime cartoons, and I can't do that animation. I need to work. It's going to take a lot of time and practice to get up to that level. But it's like, I started drawing. It was all hand-drawn back then as well, before I had any like computer software where I can like do the 3D dummies and the backgrounds and work with perspective. Now I'm using like different softwares and stuff to help me out to get like better artwork, but it's like, you know, it's still hand drawn. But this other series I made anyway was called The Invincible Martial Madman. Okay, The Invincible Martial Madman. It's about a guy who was a martial artist, and his master died. He just got old and died, and this young guy was like left heartbroken, basically. And he was so good, he was such an awesome fighter, his power was amazing, but it's a bit of fantasy in it as well. I was kind of like inspired by like things like Fist of the North Star, plus you've got like Akira and things like that. When you see people that have got like supernatural powers, their powers superhuman, like he starts becoming really uncontrollable, he can't control his power. So it was called The Invincible Martial Madman. It was about a guy, his master died, then he started getting into these fighting martial art combat tournaments, the Fighters Combat Tournament, and then what happened was is like in each episode you'd see him going more and more out of control. His power becomes more and more. He like takes it to the street, and when like someone like he gets mugged in one episode, I think he gets robbed on the street by a couple of thugs, and then he ends up like using his powers to make these buildings fall down and crush them. So you can see he's becoming a superpower. He's got those electricity and power and mind powers he's got too. So he's mainly a martial arts fighter, but he's a peaceful guy. He can't forget his master's words. His master's words he always used to say to him, you know, peace is the way, you know, avoid violence and things like this. You know, I tried to bring the true martial arts spirit and philosophy into the cartoons. And it's all about basically enjoy life. It's all a cartoon world. It's not real, but it's like I'm trying to put my meaning in there by saying love life and avoid violence if you can. But by also showing like lots of action and kick-ass martial art action fighting in it. So it's The Invincible Martial Madman. So you've got two main shows I started off with. The first show was Azibanger. This guy who's like a superhero who beats Azimuth out. You know, he's a superhero who takes out anyone who's got an ego on the streets. And people going around in this day and age, you know, they need to get their ass kicked. But it's just like a funny thing. And then the other one was The Invincible Martial Madman, which is this martial arts saga, this story thing. Anyway, later on I moved on and I started creating other characters as well. I created another show called Real World 2000. And I don't know why it's called Real World, because it doesn't look as real as it would hope to be looking. But it's like some bits are 3D, some bits are 2D, but it's just a rough thing. It's kind of rough. It's still like South Park in a way. But it's not looking. I mean, South Park's supposed to be that way and it's epic, but I'm just saying that my thing was supposed to be a bit different, but it ended up looking very rough, and I've kept the way it looks just for the style. But it's Real World 2000 is the name of this other series, and in the series we have the same character, Kai, again, the martial arts guy I told you about, but he's a bit different in this. He's not a madman, he's more young looking, he's more normal, and he's a normal guy, but he knows martial arts, of course. And he's got a friend named Don, and there's different other characters in the show too, and it's more like a story thing, and there's like fantasy elements and all kinds of stuff going on. A lot of comedy. In most of my cartoons I add some comedy. That's for the simple fact that my cartoons seem to be a bit simple on a lot of levels and rough looking, so I think I'll add a bit of comedy here or there, but it's usually, you know, serious depending on what stories I'm telling, isn't it? I've done all kinds of different little mini stories in between too. I've made other characters such as Billy the Cowboy, who's a cowboy, plain and simple, a hero type guy. I made another character who's called Bullet Fist. That was kind of based on like the Crow kind of principle, like a scary looking guy. But he's called Bullet Fist, and he's got these powers in his hands where he can like shoot you. He doesn't need a gun, he just uses his hand. You know, that's for fun. It's all from my imagination, you know. You might think it's crap, I don't know. But then again, there's people in the world that create all these different kinds of characters for video games, right? Things like Solid Snake, you know, Metal Gear Solid, and the Marvel characters and stuff like that. So again, then I moved on and made other characters. I made a character called Red Strike. It's a martial arts kind of thing. Another character called Jake, that was from another series I'm started to do called Path of Martial Mystery. I made another one called the Storm Master. I made another one called Stick Fighter versus the Blockheads. Just as the name says, okay. Another one called Wet City. I've made all different kinds of cartoons I'm trying to make. They're all on this channel, okay, Animation Arena. You can check them out. And some of the longest series that I've actually done so far are Azzy Banger, and The Invincible Martial Madman, and then the other series, the third series was Real World 2000. I've got another series called The Creek, which is basically my version of kind of like South Park. It looks basically just like South Park. You can never beat the real South Park, of course. But the cartoon characters I make, some of them like look similar to certain characters. Like as in Azzy Banger, he looks like Batman, more or less, but he's not Batman. But he's got a friend, like another character in the show who's called Ralph Pick. And this character looks very much like a Simpsons character. He's even yellow, like in the Simpsons. But it's like, he's not supposed to be. But it's like, I'm just doing my own thing, you know, having fun, being creativity with art. I'm not trying to make money from any of these shows specifically, but I would like to do something later on, really. And I want to get my stuff seen and get my stuff out there. I mean, creativeness. It's like I told you, I've got another channel which is dedicated to raps and music. I just do my own thing for fun. I've made a lot of better raps over the years as well. But some of the stuff like rough, you know. But it's like I do all this stuff myself. The cartoons, I make my own stories, make my own characters in the cartoons, the voiceovers, the music, everything. And I like to be creative. So I want to do what I do. I write my own stories, my own scripts, you know. As well as just being able to keep healthy every day and exercise and do martial art moves and talk on the camera like this about what I think is and what isn't about life. I like to create and do something else and show my different side, not to show off, but to show that a human being there can be more sides to a human being, and there can be more you can create more if you study life more and the beautiful different angles of life and the scenes of life. So I've got this other channel, okay, called Animation Arena. I really hope people would enjoy it, and if you can subscribe to that channel too and watch, that's just for cartoons, okay. I do also have DeviantArt.com. I've got a channel on there which is also under the name of Richard Clark Ninja, just like my channel here on YouTube, my main channel. But you know, that's just something I'll see what I'm going to do with that yet. I don't know. Art-wise, comics-wise, you know, animation if I can get up on there. I don't know, but it's like I've got Facebook as well. Facebook is Richard Clark Ninja 1 on Facebook. But this channel is like Richard Clark Ninja, and it's on YouTube, and this is like for my main stuff as I do my martial arts and talk videos and that. But like for the cartoons though, is Animation Arena, and I've got all kinds of new cartoons I'm planning and coming up too. Recently I've done a little horror thing called Azzy Banger and was it Night of the Cold Woman? Night of the Cold Woman. If anyone hasn't seen that, watch it for Halloween, okay, if you can. Okay, I might leave a link for you. Okay, I might leave a couple of links at the bottom. You'll see all of my characters and cartoons. I will leave a link to my channel, okay, which is Animation Arena for cartoons, and just watch what you can. But as I say, there's stuff there that was like uploaded years and years ago. I mean, really. You know, sorry, not years ago. I mean, like, I started doing this around 2 years ago. Yeah, I started doing animation. But I'm just saying, like, some of this stuff is like older. You know, it's like there's new stuff here. And the best one really is the best one I feel that I've done recently is Azzy Banger, Night of the Cold Woman. In fact, I'll show you that while we're here, just so you know. Just so if you want to go there, when you get onto Animation Arena, okay, when you see one of my cartoons here, Animation Arena, okay, the name of the channel, space between the two words, Animation and Arena, for the channel, go onto a search in the filters and go to channel search, and then look for Animation Arena. When you go in, go down, when you're under the videos section, okay, go in the videos, go down and scroll to this video here, especially. If I was you, it's one of my favourites I'm most proud of recently. Not boasting, but this one here. He's a homeless guy, by the way, a bum. Azibanger, Night of the Cold Woman. Okay, Night of the Cold. It's a horror. If you like horror, I mean, it's like a ghostly thing, and it's just fun. Okay, if you'd like to see it. But if you don't know the main superhero, who is Azibanger, this guy in the picture there, standing beside that little boy there, called Ralph Pick. He looks like Batman, you know, that's Azibanger. Okay, it's a whole series about this superhero. But I'm telling you, go to this cartoon here, Azibanger, Night of the Cold Woman. You see that? Azibanger, Night of the Cold Woman. It's 36 minutes. Watch it for Halloween. It's a little Halloween horror type cartoon, okay, if you'd like. But I've got so many cartoons here to say, loads of martial arts based ones. You know, you can see the artwork. I've tried to do the best I could, you know. You see how I do it, you know. I'm not trying to just show off, and I'm just saying, some of these, as I say, I've really worked hard on. This one, let's say, go back again. This one is my friend's cartoon, just this one here. Chuck, if you're watching, hi Chuck, bro. This one, I put that up. That's one of Chuck's cartoons. But everything else on here is mine. All of these are mine. Okay, they're all mine. This here, you know. Okay, so I hope you really can enjoy it. It's not the best animation, as I say, in cartoon, but you know, I hope you enjoy them. Okay, this one here. Okay, Azibanger, Night of the Cold Woman. And they go to this haunted house, man, and it's a group. They go to this, like, it's a haunted house thing. Okay, you'll see what it is. Good fun though, okay? Animation Arena. So, I hope you can enjoy my cartoons on there, as I say, and hopefully you'll get more familiar with all the characters and the different shows, okay? Different series, like you've got the Invincible Martial Madman, you've got Real World 2000, you've got Bullet Fist, Red Strike, Path of Martial Mystery, Azibanger, all this, The Creek, and now this, as I say, this horror thing I've just shown you, Azibanger, the Night of the Cold Woman. That's a ghost thing. It's a horror comedy kind of thing. I hope you'll enjoy it. Remember, I do all the voices myself, all the different voice acting and all the characters, all from my head, all by myself. I just do it before I go to bed, and then the next day I go to work, and I come home in my free time and do it, and I wake up in the morning and do my exercise. This is my life. I love being creative, okay? So thank you so much. And then again, the headphones on, trying to do the music and everything by myself. You know, and I watch a lot of films and cartoons, I mean, to give myself inspiration. And it's like, yeah, I know what I'm going to do. And I've got my own imagination and ideas, you know, always. So I think it's really good. If you've never trained your imagination, do it, you know, because you could tell some wonderful stories yourself too. Whether it be through drawing, pictures, comic strips, comics, writing books, writing a blog, or writing short stories, writing articles about things, writing a script of some kind. Get into it, look at it, read some little stories, or read some comics or cartoons, and watch some TV shows, movies, whatever, to inspire yourself. You know, every time you watch a movie or a show and you think, you know what, that was good, but it would have been better if that would have happened, or if it was me, I would have done this or that. Sometimes we get these ideas, and you know what, now we've got the technology, we can do all this stuff. If anyone's interested to know about the different software that I use, I will let you know too. If you've got any questions, okay, do let me know. And on my animation channel, on Animation Arena, I would like to, I'm not the best, I'm really rough at what I do compared to some people. And you look at some of the art people do, especially on that DeviantArt.com. But I'm saying that, if anyone would like to know, I would put some videos maybe up on here, and you'll see me actually draw it, and you'll see me how I do it, and I'll explain some little methods that I use if anyone's interested in art or drawing from my point of view. Okay, even if you're not a martial artist, if you're someone who just likes art or drawing or cartoons, or you'd like to do some, and if you like what I do, you can do it. But you can find so much good stuff online, people teaching and explaining about art and drawing and animation, and there's so much. I learn a lot from stuff online. There's a very good comic artist or graphic novel, you know, artist. He's called Mike Crilly. Mike Crilly. Yeah, he's great. He's manga and that. It's really, really good. But I'm just saying, you know, inspire yourself. Get writing or make some little video. Do something for yourself in your life is my advice. Don't just look for fights or how to put your point across to people and put people down on this, or just go into a ring fight. I think there's more to life than that. But martial arts is for our life, and martial arts is the most important thing for me. Martial arts has taught me all of this. You say, well, I'm talking bullshit, aren't I, Rich? Because ultimately, it's like it comes from in your heart and who you are as a person, because everybody's born with a different personality. It's the same thing. People say, like, you know, if you've got the patience and determination, people say, like, in your life, Was it the society that makes people's personalities, or is it personality that makes people? Is it coming from you naturally? What is it? You know, you're surrounded. So it's like, it's a mixture of it all. But it's like, for me, a lot of things inspire me, and I know that I want to put a good message out, and I love to be creative. So I hope you enjoy my cartoons. Thank you for your time always. That's Animation Arena, okay, for my cartoons. I will leave a link. The link to it will be in the description in the bottom, just under this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry I didn't show you any clips or anything in this, okay, but go there and you'll see, okay. If you can't, you know, if the link doesn't work for some mysterious reason, which I think it should, then remember what I said. Go into the YouTube search box and go under filters, on the search, and go for a channel, and then look for Animation Arena with a space between the two words, Animation Arena. I think you got the point, right? Thank you very much for watching. Train hard and stay safe. Martial Arts for Life. Thank you for your time and patience always. And I'd love to see some of your creations too. And if you have some art you'd love to show me, do. Also, in this video, I think what I would do is I will leave an email address. Okay, maybe that if you'd like to contact me through that, we could, you can contact me through there, okay? And if you'd like to do that in confidence, you could do that. I mean, if you would like to contact me through email, you could, we can talk on there. I mean, most people feel funny about putting the email addresses out online, so I figure it's sometimes hard. I'll either put my email in this, or I'll find a way, okay? Because I'd like to talk with more people more. Facebook's there, you know, for communication too, but close friends of mine that I've met online, some of us have shared our contact information through YouTube. So maybe through Facebook, you know, it's Richard Clark Ninja, okay, 1. Richard Clark Ninja 1 on Facebook. Talk to me on there, see if you can send me a private message and send me your email address, okay? But if I don't put my email address in this video, I may put it in, tell you at a later date in another video or somewhere, okay? But on YouTube, there used to be a private thing where you can send private messages and stuff. So I don't know where that is now, but you might have to do it through Facebook. But in terms of like email addresses, I'll give you another like extra email address. I'll make a specific extra email address just so that, you know, people can get in contact with me, the YouTube people and friends, okay? Never give your most personal stuff out. Be careful, okay, when you're online, okay? It's Marshall again, okay? But, you know, making like an extra email account just so I can talk with a few people would be nice, confidentially. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to look on Facebook, because I think on Facebook there must be a way about sending private messages and stuff. I'm just saying, if you'd like to talk to me, anyone, about anything, you know, I would love to communicate with you more. Or if you'd like to show me your creative artwork or something and you want to, you know, keep it private or what, you know, as well. So it's nice to, I'm so happy to share that, and I'm so happy to communicate with people, okay? I'm just happy to get my stuff out there and share. Loads more martial arts stuff to come and creative stuff, okay? Thank you so much for watching me here on Richard Clark Ninja channel, okay? And then the Richard Clark Ninja 1 channel on Facebook as well. I use YouTube mainly though, okay? Richard Clark Ninja. So now, and also I use, for the main, it's my new channel, I'd say. And there's Animation Arena. That channel on YouTube is for my cartoons only. Plus I've got a rap and music channel, which is Richard Clark Raps and Music, okay? But thanks for watching. Train on, stay safe. Thank you guys, it means a lot. Thank you. And thanks for listening also.